This trip was particularly surreal. Outside the car window, there were many organs floating by. Even more unexpectedly, there were people who had turned into sheep during the journey, and carrots that could laugh. Although there were beautiful views to be seen, this place was truly bizarre. There were tree branches that looked like people, and humans trapped inside stone statues. They finally found a seemingly normal place, only to realize it was a tiny country. They originally planned to coexist peacefully, but the tiny country launched an attack. This all started when they left their hometown. A little dog, for unknown reasons, always liked to sniff around Anna, because the dog kept running over to sniff her. Everyone started joking, asking Anna if she hadn't changed clothes for too long. Anna explained that she and everyone else changed clothes together, and that their clothes were all hung out to dry together. So, in their casual conversation, the train arrived at its destination. They quickly got off the train, only to find out that it wasn't a small town, but a vast grassland. At that moment, a goat stuck its head out. The group started discussing the goat, since this place was known for its goats. But suddenly, the goat stood up and charged at them. Sensing something was wrong, Annie quickly started the train. But by then, more and more goats appeared outside, ramming the train. The group was all scared. The goat's attack became fiercer, and the train swayed back and forth from the impact. Annie realized this and sped up the train. After a while, they finally managed to shake off the goats. By evening, the group hadn't recovered from the shock, and they were still a little scared, worried that the places they were heading to would be just as strange. That night, the train stopped. Millie suggested that they take turns driving the train, because Annie had been driving alone, and it was tiring for her. Plus, switching drivers would help them reach their destination faster. The others didn't say anything and agreed to Millie's suggestion. However, strangely, the usually lively Anna left while everyone was still chatting happily. The next day, the group boarded the train again, this time following Annie's basic knowledge of train driving. They arrived at a place full of flowers. Because of the previous lesson, they didn't stop the train immediately, but let it move slowly. Everyone curiously looked at the scenery outside. At that moment, a plant suddenly began to shake, and out popped a carrot. Soon, more and more carrots popped out. Laughing softly, Annie felt something was wrong, and quickly ordered Millie to start the train. As Millie operated it, the train gradually picked up speed. Since the 7G incident, the only benefit was that the night sky looked even better, with planets visible clearly. But the weather had become strange. As time passed, Anna's condition worsened, but Anna herself didn't feel it. At this point, they arrived at another eerie place. A huge net covered the area in the sky. Although it didn't seem dangerous, Annie decided to observe first, before deciding whether to stop the train. Then, they noticed many golf balls nearby. At first, they thought it was just odd, but then they suddenly wondered, what if these strange things were the native inhabitants of this place? If that was the case, did these golf balls used to be humans? Before they could finish discussing, a bunch of golf balls suddenly fell from the sky. Annie quickly started the train to leave. After an unknown amount of time, they arrived at a place where they could rest. It was then that the group realized something was wrong with Anna. She was speaking hopelessly, and seemed completely indifferent to the things around her. Unable to take it anymore, Millie tried to see what was wrong with Anna, but Anna dodged her. The group then restrained Anna, only to find that mushrooms had grown on her body. Ignoring Anna's struggles, they pulled the mushrooms off. But with the explosion of the mushrooms, they realized that Anna hadn't gotten any better, and instead, she had become even stranger, saying something they couldn't understand. The group was puzzled, because when they did this before, Anna had returned to normal. Could it be that the mushrooms had grown too big? Or perhaps they shouldn't have removed them? But the situation had already happened, and they could do nothing to change it.